Hey, this is Brian Trifon of Trifonic, and I want to tell you about a recent remix that I just finished up. It's for the M Machine, and it's of their song Black. So it comes out on their record called Metroplis Remixed, and that's on August 27th on Alzla Records. So, what I'm going to do is play you a bit of their original track so you can hear what I was working with, and then play you a bit of the remix and kind of talk about the process. So right now, we're listening to the original, and as you can hear, this is pretty much like an electro banger track. You hear that basically one of the main themes that's happening is it's got this intense stab, and that sort of motif. So it has really good vibe to it, really good energy. So let's skip ahead here for a little bit to the breakdown section. So here in the breakdown, you can hear that they've got this chimes happening, and a little melodic ostinato or melodic repeating phrase comes in on the top. And then as that continues on, you can hear, then they bring in these strings and it becomes this whole epic, really cool thing. If we skip ahead a little more, you can hear from the breakdown and from all this melodic contrast, they go back into that banging chorus part with that main stabby synth. So when the M Machine asked me to remix this particular track, I had to think about how I wanted to approach it. So whenever you're asked to do a remix, I think it's a good idea to consider what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses and what are you known for, and or what would you like to make a name for yourself. So for me, my strength is not banging dance floor tracks. That's just not really what I do. So I decided to go more in the traditional Trifonic direction, and what I wanted to do is just do a completely different take on the song Black. Like take some of the themes that it has and the spirit that it has, but you know, bring out the light in the blackness, so to speak. So as you can hear, that starts with kind of some ambient parts. Have sort of slower kind of feel to it. And I figured since I was doing something different with this remix, and trap is popular with the kids, that I would do sort of my own take on the like post-trap shoegaze mixed with Trifonic kind of sound. So that's why I've got the 808s drums in there. You can hear I bring in some guitars and some melodic stuff. So what I want to do is show you a couple things that I've got happening in this session. So one of the things that I tried to do was, and it was more of an experiment, but I wanted to have all the sounds basically cut off when the snare or claps hit, just to really make space for them. Because I've listened to some stuff and I kind of think that's what certain people do, but I'm not really sure, maybe not. So I just wanted to try it. And so you can kind of see got all these slices here. And you can hear the gaps that I've got. So if I solo this guitar track, so I've got this kind of ambient guitar track, it has little gaps everywhere the snare hits. And I feel like that actually makes everything kind of cut through a little better. Check it out. And I did the same things when these acoustic guitars come in. I'll highlight these for a moment. So these guitars. just avoiding the snares. And same with these other parts too. I've got this synthy part here. So it sounds all kind of disjointed, but let's hear it all together. And you sort of don't notice those gaps as much. So as you can see, that helps kind of make some space because there's a lot of layers of this, and I really wanted it to have some impact. The other thing that I did here, and again, I've talked about this in past videos, is I sometimes like to reuse things because if you develop something that's really cool, it becomes a signature sound the more that you use it, and it's not just being lazy; it's just it's reinforcing the sound. So I've got some of the vocals from Transgenic in here. These. I actually melodine them to give it a little bit of a different melody. So that's fading in now. This is just to heighten the whole emotional intensity of things. So, doing my old tricks, reusing stuff, chopping things up. So later I kind of create a bridge section that has some interesting guitar parts in there as well. So I'll solve those for you. So again, I'm avoiding the snares, and I've got the normal guitars cut up with these kind of glitch versions as well. And put in a couple of just electric guitar notes that I think are kind of cool that just give it a vibe as well. Sometimes the way I like to approach melodic phrases and motifs, especially in electronic music, is that, not necessarily the same instrument has to start and end the phrase. It can be one instrument that starts it, another instrument that finishes it. And that's kind of part of the postmodern aesthetic. It's part of what I like to explore. Because even with these kind of glitchy guitars that are mixed in with just the normally played guitars, they kind of complete the phrase. So I'm not using the glitches and the cut up parts as like some kind of special effect. It's not doing it to the whole track. It's just part of the fabric of the phrasing of those particular melodic lines. Because, let's face it, we're in 2013 now, and just, there's all kinds of edits and all that stuff is commonplace. And so you don't want it to just be a gimmick where it's like just, it's like a party trick. You know what I mean? You want things to be integrated into the fabric of the track and everything to be intentional, not just like a show of skill. So I'm always conscious of that because, I like IDM and clicky stuff and glitches as much as the next bro out there. But I want it to be tasteful and not for the sake of just having it there. It's part of the phrasing. It's part of the rhythm of it. It's not to show off how skilled I am at editing or anything like that. Another thing that I've got in here is some more percussion here. And so some of these clicks are actually ones that I created for the song Lies back in 2008 or back in 2007. I did a hybrid remix a few years ago, used some of my percussion that I added to their track that wasn't in their track. So, you know, trying to again save time, but use good sounds, create a signature sound, create an overall triphonic vibe, and then at the same time respect what the M Machine are doing, and incorporate it into something that's an homage to their piece. So, in addition to the stab element from the original Black, I've also got their ostinato phrase in here. You can hear I've also got that cut up to avoid the snares. All right, so you can hear it in context. And so then I have that continue in the background and things start to build up. Then I bring back in their stab here. So you can hear how I've got that in there. And I'm trying to create space with that because that stab is so intense. So I had to cut it up quite a bit to just get it to sit right and not take up all of the space. So anyway, hopefully that gives you some insight into my process in terms of remixing Black. I hope you like the remix. Definitely go check out the M Machine. And all of their work is really great. And, you know, I really am grateful for the opportunity to be able to remix this song for them. And hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned from the video. Thanks so much. See you soon.